Hi, welcome to Backstage Pass. My name is Kim Betcher, and I'm the marketing director here at the Detroit Lakes Community Cultural Center for the fitness side. And joining me today is John McDonald. John is our head Sunfish swim coach, and I'm decked out a little bit in our t-shirt that I get to wear once or twice a year when we have our home swim meets. But we have Sunfish swim team is coming up, and I wanted to have John on just to kind of talk a little bit about what that is. We have both our competitive group and we have our beginner group. And so our competitive group starts Monday, October 22nd, kind of after MEA break. And then we have our beginner group that starts November 5th. So why don't you kind of talk a little bit about what the Sunfish does and maybe how you kind of kick things off during the season.
All right, so our competitive group will start first, and they will, the way I structure the season is we go into stroke refinement, some drills, really kind of get everything right so we can prevent any kind of injury, those whatever it takes to get things right. And then as the season goes on, we start pouring on more and more yardage, which actually eventually becomes miles.
Right, which is the cool thing. It's just cool. I mean, people don't realize it's cool. People don't realize how much you're swimming. I mean, in an hour, how many literally miles you can get in. You're swimming an hour and a half. So.
Yeah, by the end of the season, they're probably doing our practices run about an hour and a half for that group, and they'll probably be doing about almost 4,000, 4,500 yards in that time. So that ends up being a couple miles.
Yeah, so. Cool. Very cool. So you get them started with skills, and the difference between kind of the Sunfish and like swim lessons, for example, is the yardage and the technique work. Yep. You're not teaching them maybe the elementary backstroke, which is they'll learn in swim lessons. They're learning the competitive swim strokes. So the freestyle, the breaststroke, the butterfly, and the backstroke are the focuses. So. And
that's where we start with the beginners. They come in, this is a big step above swimming lessons. Right. We're actually putting on, not really focusing on miles, but refinement, getting the kids comfortable with drill terms and proper technique to prevent injury and those kind of things. And what's great about that is those kids come in not used to that amount of, even that isn't a ton of yardage, but it is a lot for those little squeakers, and they come in and then they get tired. So, so I get a lot of comments from parents. They're like, boy, I came home, barely ate supper, went straight to bed.
Exactly.
And those kids typically practice about 2 nights a week.
Yep.
And that seems to be more than enough to keep them tired, but also keep them very interested. And as the kids get really comfortable with that, we try to migrate them up into the competitive group and get them to go to a couple meets a couple times a year.
Yeah, and we have meets for those of you that are wondering. We do have meets in the region, I guess I would say, not even just the area. So we go to Fargo. The winter maybe not so much to Bemidji, but Alexandria. We head down to the cities for a meet based on time. Yep. We host a meet in the end of January every year. So there's lots of opportunities for kids to kind of keep moving in the program, kind of depending. And actually, a lot of the kids that are on the high school girls and boys teams actually have come from the Sunfish program. Not that you're required to, but it does help to kind of give you a nice base. The other thing that's cool about the beginner kids that I always love is when you have a child who's just starting maybe, and what we recommend is that they've at least taken or passed level 3 because they need to be comfortable in the deep end. They need to be comfortable completing a full length of the pool. If they haven't taken lessons, we do have some assessment time, so you can have your child kind of come in and kind of a free trial type thing, and John and Chrissy, our other coach, can take a look to make sure that they're able to do it. But the thing that is always cool for me to watch is when you see some of those beginner kids who can barely make the length of the pool the first week. Yep. But by week 3, they're back and forth, and the excitement from the parents or grandparents too is cool because you just don't realize like how much just time in the water just makes a difference. And yeah, so it's super cool. So
with those little kids, a lot of it is building that confidence level, getting them comfortable in the water, and it's going to change a lot. The way they behave in the water too, you'll see a little less playing and dunking, and they get a little bit more serious about that even away from practice.
Right. And there's other things you do. You do like you work on starts and turns. So the starting blocks, if you've never been or seen what those are, kids will get a chance to learn how to dive off of those once they get going. And the meets, the fees are, we kind of have our fee for your season. We have some USA Swimming has some fees. and then there are some meet fees. So, so if you're wondering what those are, they're very nominal as far as from a stretched out standpoint. You know, like our meet in January is free. So lots of opportunities for swimming if you're looking. Thanks so much for joining me today, and we'll see you again. If you have any more questions on our Sunfish, you can go to www.dlccc.org and click on the registration tab and kind of read a thing, or you can shoot me an email to kim@dlccc.org. Thank you.